Closed captioning for The Casey Malone Show is sponsored by Hunter Stevens Land Title Agency. Integrity, service, and commitment you can trust.
Oh yeah, Casey Malone is serving up local. It's time for the stories of our region, the tastes, the sights, the sounds, and the people in and around the valley. Get ready for some local flavor on the Casey Malone Show.
Today it's a flashback favorite, Witch Fingers with Annabelle, and a frightening visit to the experience at Eastwood Field. But first, young Frankenstein is at the Youngstown Playhouse.
Something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. In any event, my fellow.
Here at the Youngstown Playhouse, they are doing a production for the Halloween season of Young Frankenstein, or should I say, Frankenstein.
Right.
And John Holt is the director, and you are from West Virginia. You're a former transplant, and then you left, came back, and this show brought you back.
Yes, it did.
And I had no idea that Mel Brooks even wrote this for stage.
He's actually been working, or he had been working on the musical for many, many years. He had the idea for a long, long time. Finally teamed up with a book writer named Thomas Meehan.
Yes.
To kind of finish the project. It had a relatively short run on Broadway, but a decent run. It had a very, very good cast. So it built up a little bit of steam. It does translate well. If you're a fan of the movie, then you'll absolutely be a fan of the show.
And are you a fan of the movie?
I really am.
I know. I mean, it's like part of our culture. I mean, do you find that the younger people that tried out for the show, were they as familiar with it as, I'm not going to ask how old you are, but of a certain age, I think that was like our rite of passage, you know, all those Mel Brooks movies.
You'd actually be surprised how many of the younger folks have history with the movie.
Yeah.
The movie, or if not outright loved it.
And you think the songs add more to it?
Absolutely. What he generally did, which is really, really clever of him, is he would take funny moments or funny lines and expand on those ideas with song or dance or both. And it actually helps embellish what you found funny about that moment in the original movie.
I am really excited to see some of the parts, and tell me about the cast, because I mean that's your most important part of it, I'm sure.
Well, at auditions you never know who you're going to get, who you get to see. But in all honesty, I got really, really lucky, and I've got the perfect Inga, I've got the perfect Frau Blucher, I've got the perfect Inspector Kemp, and the blind hermit, and so on. But where I was really, really surprised was we had two young men audition for the show, and they auditioned at different times, and I really wasn't paying any attention to last names or any of their particulars. And when I went home that night and I started looking at my notes on who might work with who, and I started realizing, wow, they've got the same last name. Well, they're the same age. Well, they're twins. They're twin brothers. And so I called them the next day and I said, can you all come back? And they came back in, and we kind of did a callback thing, and they read together, they sang together, and the chemistry is just amazing. So we ended up with twin brothers playing Frederick Frankenstein and Igor.
And they're identical twins? Or just twins?
They're twins, yeah.
So there is, some distinction.
A little bit. Well, enough that I couldn't tell at auditions. And it's very, very interesting watching these two brothers play off of each other, because you can see some sibling stuff happening while they're also, finding character with these iconic parts.
Yeah.
So again, they both have their own different spin on this, and yet we're not losing what was so endearing about those characters the first time.
In the chorus, it's fun! My dear
What do you think is the reason that people should really come and see this show?
Because they don't know it. They know the movie, but when you add, you know, a box of new songs that you know, never heard of, you know, the vast majority of theater goers, you know, probably didn't know that Young Frankenstein was a thing in New York on such and such.
I did not,
right?
And you try to think, you know, what's happening in other cities and what's happening in the, you know, Broadway, but I had no idea that was even a show. When I got my flyer from the play, I couldn't believe it. I said, oh my gosh, you know, that's perfect.
Right.
So I'm really excited to see it. And what is, like, one of your favorite scenes?
Oh, wow. All of them are so unique and fun. Again, each actor kind of brings their own thing to this. There's a couple scenes and actual characters in the stage version that you won't remember from the movie because they weren't there. So these are neat little surprises or Easter eggs that people will get to enjoy. But every scene is just so unique, you know, and you get these new characters popping out, and you know, the thing is quick moving, and it's just funny. I'm actually kind of worried about how many times our actors are going to have to learn how to hold and wait for that laugh to kind of die down so they can continue on. You know, that's something that you can't rehearse. It just has to happen.
That's a good problem to have.
Absolutely.
That's a good problem to have.
Absolutely.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor. Here at the Magic Tree Pub and Eatery with owner Phil, Rita, and Chef Tank. Been on field trips. I know from where you get your food, and always, I'm never disappointed by your menu. What do we have coming up?
Okay, that's our Magic Monster Burger. It has 2 8-ounce patties and some Walnut Hill Farms pork belly on it with a little bit of pecan jam. We have our new pepperoni pretzel roll with house-made marinara. We have our award-winning bacon jam burger with premium pastured meat on it, and we also have our pot roast and of course our house pretzels.
It all sounds so amazing.
Casey, I am so proud of our kitchen team for the pride they take in making everything from scratch and supporting local farmers. It's what makes Magic Tree live up to who we are, and that's a place where people can eat, drink, and celebrate.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
What happens in a baseball stadium when the lights go out? The Experience Haunted Attraction is back at Eastwood Field in Niles. 6 haunts in 1 location, plus all new escape rooms. More details at theexperience.com. Fear awaits.
Here at the Upstairs, we cater to everyone. When you come through the door, I treat you as though you're my friend. So there's all kinds of options here at the Upstairs. There's something on that menu for everyone. Great food, friendly service, very clean restaurant. There's a lot of restaurants, a lot of good restaurants in our community. So I always feel honored when someone comes here. I want everybody coming through that door to leave here with a good experience.
Mayflower Woolham is your full-service independent insurance agency for what matters most. Home, auto, life, boat, RV, umbrella. We'll find the right product at the right price for your family. Mayflower Woolham with 3 locations to serve you.
Part of growing up in Youngstown is growing up with Rowley Brothers Markets. Even friends who have moved out of town come to shop and say hi when they're home for a visit.
And my family has always shopped at Rowley's, and today they are still my favorite grocery store. My recipes depend on the best ingredients, and that's why I get them at Rowley's, where you'll always find the freshest food at the best prices.
Rowley Brothers is a proud sponsor of the Casey Malone Show. The quality that customers have come to expect is true local flavor.
$5 Burger Mondays at Sadie's Place, inside the Best Western, Route 46, Austintown.
Do you have swelling, aching, burning, cramping, tired, restless legs, or painful varicose veins? Call us today at Varus Vein Institute. We offer free screenings and consultations and the newest non-invasive procedures covered by most insurance. Take the first step to healthier veins. Visit varusvein.com. Hear what other patients have to say. See before and after photos. And visit our new location on North Hermitage Road in Hermitage, PA to schedule your free consultation today.
I'm attorney Mark Hanai. Youngstown Municipal Court needs a judge that will be tough on crime. We can't wait for on-the-job training. I have practiced in the Youngstown Municipal Court for over 13 years. It's time to protect our families from the bullies, dealers, and thieves that poison our community. If they do the crime, they will do the time. I have the legal experience and will make Youngstown safer. Vote Mark Hanai for judge. I will be tough on crime.
Greetings, I'm Brunhilde, here with my lovely niece, Cruella. And today we're going to prepare for you a family favorite, our severed witch's finger cookies.
Yes, we love to serve them to our guests for our Halloween party.
That's right, let's get started, Cruella. For this recipe, you'll need 30 blanched almonds, 2 large eggs, 1/4 teaspoon vanilla extract, 1/2 cup butter at room temperature, 1/2 cup of powdered sugar, 5 tablespoons of granulated sugar, 1 pinch of salt, 1 2/3 cup of all-purpose flour, and 2 tablespoons of food coloring, your choice.
And don't forget the iron newt.
Before we get the batter started for our cookies, we've preheated the oven to 350, and we'll get our fingernails painted. These blanched almonds will serve as the fingernails. Now, Cruella, what color would we like our fingernails to do?
Black and green.
I love that color, black fingernails and green. So we'll let these soak in the food coloring while we get everything together. Now we'll crack the egg and we're going to just remove the yolk. And we'll leave all the egg whites in the bowl for later use. So now we'll put the egg yolk over here. We'll crack the other egg. Add the vanilla. And whisk this up, because we'll be adding this to the batter in a little bit. All right, in our cauldron, Cruella, let's first add the butter. Very good. Now let's put in the powdered sugar.
In here.
Yes, drop that right in there. Oh, you do that so well. Now, let's add the granulated sugar. Beautiful. And now let's add a pinch of salt. Beautiful, Cruella. All right, now we'll combine these on medium speed for just a few moments until they're well combined. Oh, this looks fine. Now we'll add the egg mixture with the vanilla and beat it again over medium for 2 minutes longer. Oh, this is coming along beautifully, Cruella. It's thoroughly combined. And now it's time to add our flour. Would you be of service and help me with that? While the mixer's running, a little bit at a time, keep adding the flour. Would you do that for me, Cruella?
Yes, I would, Brunhilde.
Thank you, my love.
Is this good?
That is beautiful. Start adding the flour. Oh, wonderful. Keep adding it until that bowl is empty. All right, Cruella, look at this beautiful cookie dough. Let's remove it from the bowl and then put it in the refrigerator for a half hour or so to get it nice and chilled, so it will be easier for us to work with.
May I help you wrap it?
Oh, yes, you may, my love. Please, put that over the top, and we'll seal it perfectly. Keep it nice and airtight. Now, we'll pop this in the fridge for a half hour. All right, before we roll the fingers out, let's get our fingernails out of the dye, and we'll let them dry a bit before we add them to the cookie. Oh, Cruella, that is a beautiful black color. Look at the beautiful green. We'll roll it now on a floured surface. We want them to be fairly thin, about 3 to 4 inches long.
Like this one, right?
Yes, just like our fingers.
May I roll some?
Sure.
On the plate?
Go right ahead. Now, while you add the fingernails to each cookie, I'm going to take a knife and just score some wrinkles in so it looks just like a knuckle. I love the colors of those fingernails. The green and the black are absolutely terrifying. Cruella, please brush these with the egg white before we put them into the oven. Oh, very nice job. And now, Cruella, into the oven for 12 minutes until golden brown. So, Cruella, let's try our fingers. They look wonderful. Magnificent. What should we drink with our wonderful witch's fingers?
Ghost blood.
Why, ghost blood is a splendid idea. Cheers, my love. Delicious. For the complete recipe, go to caseymalloneshow.com.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor.
Hi, I'm Elizabeth Bernard. I've been giving the people of our valley free advice for 30 years, and my message has never changed. If you're involved in an automobile accident, don't try to handle it yourself. Call a lawyer. A lawyer will be your representative, dealing with doctors, medical insurance, and all the red tape that you may encounter. Hiring a lawyer doesn't mean you'll end up in court. And remember, there are no upfront fees on personal injury cases.
That's good advice. Need a lawyer? Learn more at elizabethbernardlaw.com.
To own a business where your name's on the window can be pretty cool. That's my family. My name is Danny Catullo, and I'm the owner of Catullo Prime Meats. My grandfather started the business in 1962. I was able to take our old-style butcher shop and bring it out to the new age using e-commerce to get our products to more customers. When we started shipping, there was not a ton of information out there. That's where we really worked with FedEx so they could be able to help us with our perishable shipping. We were taking on new purchases that we never had to make before. Boxes, coolers, ice packs, anything that was involved around shipping. So we can no longer do this with the cash that we had on hand. So because of the Plum Card from American Express and all of its benefits, it was a natural fit to help grow our business. When someone calls and lets you know that you made their dinner, That's satisfaction that you can't get anywhere else.
What happens in a baseball stadium when the lights go out? The Experience Haunted Attraction is back at Eastwood Field in Niles. 6 haunts in one location, plus all new escape rooms. More details at theexperience.com. Fear awaits.
There's a new standard in assisted living.
One that combines comfort, luxury, convenience, and the highest quality expert care.
Your loved ones can experience it now in Canfield's premier senior living location.
The Inn at Ironwood offers fine dining and amenities such as a concierge, salon, housekeeping, and laundry services.
And a truly elegant setting in Canfield.
Call us for more information or visit us and take a tour.
The Inn at Ironwood, Canfield's premier senior living location.
Mayflower Woolham is your full-service independent insurance agency for your business. We work with several companies so you have choices for your insurance needs. Commercial properties, professional liability, bonding, and general. Trust Mayflower Woolham.
I can't believe my boy's popping the question. Things are getting real. Thanks, Dad. Now, every little detail matters, especially the ring. I've got it all worked out. You want to buy from somebody you really trust. You want more than a ring. Dad, now hold on. You want craftsmen who can make a one-of-a-kind ring. Dad. If you're going to get real, you need to get Kamara. Dad, I'm way ahead of you. She's gonna love it, son.
4 for $5 till 6. Happy hour at Sadie's Place inside the Best Western, Route 46, Austintown. Well, one of my favorite haunted houses in the area has always been Ghoul Mansion in Skadden, Pennsylvania. And now they're here at Eastwood Field with Experience. 3 haunts, clown chaos, blacklight golf. And, you know, I am not the authority I once was, so I had to bring in the big guns. My nieces. I have got Megan, Marianne, and Maeve with me. And you guys have a lot of experience with haunted things, don't you?
Yeah, yes we do.
What do you find really scary, Maeve?
I find chainsaw dudes.
Chainsaw dudes are pretty scary, especially when the chainsaw is alive, you know?
Yeah.
What about you? What do you find really scary when you go to haunted houses?
Probably slaughterhouses. Those scare me a lot.
And you being, you know, the oldest sister, you've got the most experience, Megan. What really scares you?
Clowns.
Well, then we've got to do the clown chaos golfing. Now, you know, my go-to guy for anything frightening is Jim. He brought us Ghoul Mansion and now the Experience. What do we expect that is? I mean, you have so much more space to work with at Eastwood Field.
Oh, absolutely. What you can expect is everything that I couldn't do in Sharon. That's the easy explanation. You know, we've got 3 haunted houses. We've got Clown Chaos Mini Golf. We've got the Scarecade. We've got our whole our midway here. We'll have different entertainment on different nights. We'll have some fire breathers here, and you know, pretty much everything that we couldn't do before, we're now doing.
Now, you have 3 different haunts, serious haunts. Is there like a degree of fright? Like, would one be the most and the one lesser?
No, you know, one of the things that we did here is we wanted to make it a family event, but still stand by our laurels as making it scary as well. So, you know, I refuse to get rid of all the scare, but one of the things we wanted to do is we wanted to make it fun for the entire family, so the girls can come out and have a good time, and you know, I say from the youngest to the oldest and the smallest to the tallest can all come out and have a good time. We've got so 3 haunted houses. We have the Hunted, we have Isolation, and then we have Thorn Funeral Parlor. And they all have different themes, but so the Hunted basically is a zombie-themed mansion. And the Isolation, for those of you who maybe came to Sharon in the past, and maybe tried or didn't try the Hunted or the Hooded Haunt.
Oh boy, how that Hooded Haunt it freaked me out.
You didn't like that, so we did away with the hoods for you, Casey.
Oh,
but I'll promise you that after you go through Isolation, you'll wish that you had a hood on instead. And then our third haunt is Thorn Funeral Parlor. And that's based off of a script that RJ Hattie has helped us with. So RJ, as you know, was on the television show Face Off on Sci-Fi, and he's now our full-time makeup artist. So he has created some custom characters for us and has helped us create this custom-themed haunt. And so we've got all that. We then have the Scarecade, which is a place where if you're too scared to go through, you can actually come in. You can activate an old school arcade game. You and I remember that. The girls, think about an arcade game sitting in front of a television, but the arcade games that we remember, you can stand there, you can activate a camera inside the haunt, and you'll be able to scare people inside the haunted house. The other thing that we have going on is an app that we've partnered with a company called Dare to Scare. And Dare to Scare app, you can download on your smartphone, either iPhone or Android, and you'll actually be able to activate cameras within the haunted houses, and you'll be able to activate scares in the haunted houses, so you can actually sit at home on your couch and scare people in the haunted house here.
Now we've got to give it the official review. What do we say for experience?
I like it.
I say thumbs up.
Yeah.
2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, 2 thumbs up.
The Casey Malone Show will be right back with more local flavor. The Casey Malone Show is sponsored in part by Denise and John York and the DeBartolo Corporation.